Okay, so this is going to be an instructional slash overview video of this brand new 2026 model Burstner B66 594 TD. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the motorhome, and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. Two reasons for this. One is obviously so you know how to open the bonnet, and then two, I'm just going to show you the terminal points in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So to open the bonnet, what you need to do is come around to the passenger door, and then if you open the passenger door, you will see at the side of the dash is the bonnet release catch. All you need to do, pull that down once and that will then release. Also, just while we are in the cab, you've got blackout blinds on the front of the windscreen. If you want to close these, you've just got a tab here. You pinch this tab, slide them across, and they will meet in the middle on a magnetic strip. We've got captain, swivel seats, passenger and driver. Under the passenger seat, this is where you will come to. This is where all your 12 volt system is. So if one of the fuses blows, this is where you need to come to. It's just behind this cabling underneath there. So like I say, anything on the 12 volt side, it could be USB points or your electric bed. This is where the fuses are for that. And then underneath the driver's seat, that is where your lithium battery is. On the B66 range, they do now come with a lithium on the TD range. Driver and passenger door do have blackout blinds. All you need to do is this tab here, lift it up, use the guide around the edge all the way to the top, lock it in place, and that is then blacked out for privacy. And then to put it back, just do it in reverse, slide it back down to its home position. As you can see, I've now got access to the bonnet area. So if we need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, here we have your negative terminal point. So on this nipple here is your negative terminal point, and then down here it's going to be under this black cover here. That is where your positive terminal point is going to be, under this cover. Obviously under here as well, we've got obviously your screen wash, which is in front of the driver. So now we are going to carry around the external of the motorhome, and we'll continue on the passenger side. So the first compartment we come to is going to be at the side of the passenger door, and this is where your diesel fill and AdBlue fill is. AdBlue, you don't need a key for it. On your diesel, you just need to use your vehicle blade key, and that will give you access to filling up for the diesel. Here we have your fresh water tank. So you've got your fresh water tank here, which can obviously hold 120 litres, or you can drain it down to 20 litres, or obviously completely empty it. If you want to fill up, all you need to do, take this blue cap off, and then it comes with a spill flap. If you hook that on there, put your hose pipe in. The spill flap is basically, if you forget about it, then the water will hopefully miss the internal door and fall outside. Before obviously filling up, we do need to shut this tank, and how we shut this tank is this black knob up here. So twisting it clockwise, 2 full turns, that will then tighten the valve and completely shut the valve, so then when you fill up, the tank is not going to empty. If we want to drain the tank from 120 litres to 20 litres for travelling to save weight, all you need to do, from it being closed, twist it anti-clockwise, quarter turn. That will open the valve a little bit, and then the excess water will drain out to a rough gauge of 20 litres. And then this big cap here, you can open this and clean internally of the fresh water tank if needed. Directly below that we have your grey waste. So to release your grey waste, you need this little handle, and basically that slides on there, and then all you need to do, quarter turn, it will open the grey waste, quarter turn back, and then it will shut the grey waste. So it drains from this point here. In here we have your LPG gas locker, so you can fit 2 tanks in here. You could actually get to 11 kgs in here, and then obviously we've got your gas regulator at the top there. You might not need 2 bottles of gas, so you might just want to put one at the back and have some storage at the front. Directly above that we have got your external shower point. So you've got mixer tap, hot and cold. Obviously the hot will only work when you have physically boiled the water in the Truma system. Your shower point connects on here, which is a quick release mechanism, and then this is just a little switch to turn it on or off. One thing about this switch, there is no on and off actual indication. So basically, to use this, if you turn on your control panel in the Habitation, turn on your pump will obviously pump the water from the tanks, but then obviously you can switch it on and off from here for external. One thing I'm highlighting here is if this switch is switched on, basically when you turn the pump on, this will just keep pouring water out in here, so you could potentially empty the fresh water tank without realising. There is no sticker indicating which one is on or off, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. And that is everything on the passenger side of this motorhome. We have got a reverse camera which is hidden into the Burstner badge. And now we are on the driver's side of the Habitation, and we've got a large tall locker here. So in here we've got a few things. Obviously you've got a hanging rack upstairs at the top. You can lift these up so you can put all your skis in or tall equipment in, or you've got 2 shelves, one there and one currently tucked away here. Also you can see a door cut out there. You can access this from the integrated shower room. Here below we have got your toilet cassette. If we want to empty or clean the cassette, all we need to do is this orange tab here, lift the tab up, slide the cassette towards you, and that will then release. Take the cassette out, and if we want to then empty the toilet cassette, all we need to do is this orange nozzle on the left, twist it out to the left, take this grey cap off, and then if you tilt the cassette up, obviously your fluids will flow out, but if you hold the button on the top here, hold it down, that will let air into the top, so all the fluids flow out a lot faster and it doesn't gurgle and splatter your back. Here, that is the toilet cassette blade. You can open it and clean internally with a hose pipe, or you can put your chemical in there, or you can put it in through the toilet as well. To put it back in place, all you need to do is align it, slide it back in, and then the main thing here is that this orange tab is down secure, so currently it isn't down. Just make sure push it down, and now in transit it's not going to move in or out. We have got a bung here just in case you've got any of the floor wet, hanging any wet gear in here or any wet boots. You can wash this out lower down. You have got a heating vent here, so this is heated, so it dries everything in here as well. And then this white cover here, if you open that, that will give you access to your boiler frost protect valve, and then at the back there's a yellow little valve in its vertical position that is just draining any pipe work, any excess water in the pipe work. So you've got 2 valves here that you need to remember to close or open. So the first one, the yellow one at the back, in its vertical position as you see it now, that means that valve is open. If I want to shut this, all you need to do, knock it down, and then horizontal, that means it's closed. The black valve with the blue tabs on, that is your boiler valve. So like I say, it's called frost protect valves. Basically this will trigger automatically at 3 degrees, so if it feels the temperature dropping, the magnet will release and then drain any water in the boiler. This is protecting your boiler in case you forget to drain it. Currently this is in the open position. How I know this is because this blue button here is sticking out, and then also the diamond valve on top is in line. If we want to shut this to fill up our boiler, we just need to twist the diamond valve on top, push this blue button in. If the blue button stays in, that means it's completely closed. If you're trying to do this when it's cold, the button might not stay in. A way around this is heating the motorhome up. So turn on the heating, because you don't need this valve to be closed for that. Turn on the heating, just get some warm air in the motorhome, and then you will be able to shut it if you are somewhere cold. Also, here is where you open the valve to drain your boiler manually. So if we are finished camping and we're heading home, we want to drain the boiler manually. All we need to do, twist the diamond valve on top, that blue button will pop out, all the water in the boiler will drain directly out underneath the motorhome. And then obviously the yellow valve at the back, want to drain any excess water in the pipework, put it in its vertical position, and that will drain any water out the pipework. As you can see, the garage doors have a lock on here. Currently that is stuck out, so that means it's unlocked. And push it in, it won't lock until you put the Habitation key in and done a 180 turn on the lock, and then when you push in it will stay in like so. But if the handle is sticking out, that means the doors are unlocked, so just keep that in mind, just so obviously no one breaks into them. Here we've got your boiler flue, so you just want to keep this clear at all times, because obviously this is where your fumes from the gas exhaust from when you are running the boiler on gas. As you can see, I'm connected to mains hookups. That's where you plug in when you're at campsite. So this will charge your leisure batteries, also give you 240 volt on the 3-pin sockets. We have got ventilation top and bottom for the fridge freezer. Here we have your external gas point. So you got a tap here, so twist it to the left in line, that means the valve will be open, and then vertical is closed. All you need to do is take this bung off. You just need to get a quick release connection on the orange hose, which connects onto obviously your stove, and that's it. And then obviously turn on the gas tanks themselves in the gas locker. Here we have external power. So this one here is 240 volt, but you do need to get a European adapter, because this is obviously built in main Europe. It's the 2-prong adapter you need to convert to 3-pin. You got a micro 12 volt at the side, and you have got an external aerial point. Just to keep in mind, this aerial point is actually not live. You do have to buy a third-party product and have an aerial fitted to the motorhome. And then the last part, we have got a locker under one of the bench seats. So you've got a decent sized locker which you can access internally or externally. So if you've been walking, you can put your boots in here and stuff like that. That is everything external wise. As you can see, the motorhome comes with an awning. You'll get a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. We've also got an electric step, and that is controlled in the Habitation just on this control here. So all you need to do is press and hold, and it will go in, and then obviously in reverse it will go out. So as you can see, we are now in the Habitation. So directly above the Habitation door, we have got your master control panel. Top left up here, if we press and hold, that will give us a light indication of the leisure battery, because that's showing the battery symbol at the rear of the van. So that is the leisure battery. Here in the middle on the left is your master on and off. So that will turn off all of the 12 volt system. Just to keep in mind, if you do switch that off, you've got two light switches here, which is your external awning light and your porch light at the entrance. They're on a separate circuit, just so you've got a light to come back to if it's dark and you've left it on. So if you switch that off, it will turn all the lights off with the 12 volt system, apart from the two lights I've just indicated. Bottom left, you press and hold. That will give you your vehicle battery level. As you can see, the battery symbol at the front of a van, that's the battery level of the engine. Top right, press and hold. It's currently giving me no indication, but that is your fresh water, the top right. Here it will light up in blue. Obviously the water is empty at the moment, so it's not giving me any indication. On the right in the middle, press it on, you can see a light come on, and that is the water pump. Only turn this water pump on when you've got physical water in the fresh water tank. The reason for this, you don't want to burn that motor out, because the motor will be pumping away dry, and then obviously you could potentially burn it. Bottom right is your grey waste. You can see the little drain valve at the bottom, that is your grey waste. So again, press and hold and it will light up here on the right. I think it lights up in red, but obviously that is empty as well. But your indications for your fresh water and grey waste are on the right hand side. As you can see in the middle, I've got a light lit up, which looks like a motorhome with a plug socket in. That's just indicating that I am connected to shore hookup. If I plug in at campsite and there's no light on here, there's a potential fault somewhere. Most of the time the fault is at the campsite post, but it could be in the motorhome. So if, you just need to check your mains breaker, which we will get to. But sometimes the site post could have tripped. It could be a faulty cable from the post to the motorhome. Sometimes try another socket on the post as well. So that is your control panel for the Habitation. It is quite straightforward. On the left hand side we have got your Truma heating control, and on the email you'll get sent a separate link how to use this control panel. I've got this video on YouTube as well. Directly above that is just your thermostat control, so that's getting the temperature to knock the thermostat on or off. Here we've got obviously a 3-pin socket, 12 volt socket. An aerial again is redundant unless you get a third-party product fitted to the roof. We have got a data cable coming from the router, because this motorhome on the B66 range, on TD range, it comes with Wi-Fi and lithium battery. You've got a little dome charging thing in here. Basically this ball, you can buy from Burstner a chandelier light, a wireless charger, and that just clicks on there to charge up. So we'll start from the cab area backwards. As you can see, I've got the swivel seats turned around. If we want to turn these seats, all you need to do is slide the seat forward so it misses the steering wheel and swing around. But if you want to release these seats when they are in the driving position, this lever here, all you need to do is pull that, release, and it releases the seat, and then it will allow you to swivel. At the front we've got USB points and Type-C, and then one thing to keep in mind, we have got this switch here and this rocker switch. If I switch it on, the Radio Pioneer unit will come on. One thing to keep in mind with that though is that you don't forget that it's on and walk away, as this could potentially drain. If you're off grid, this could potentially drain your engine battery. But that gives you the option to listen to the radio when you're in the motorhome. If you are connected to shore connection, then obviously the charge will charge the leisure battery and it will charge the engine battery at the same time. Under this bench seat here, that is where the external locker is, so you can get access under that seat. We've got your dining table here, which you pull this support bar out and then you can fold the table over to make it a bigger area. Make sure you pull the support out, otherwise you could potentially snap the other half of the table off. As you can see on here as well, there's some extra legs, and what that is for the Dinette to berth package which you can get on this vehicle. And basically you lower the table all the way down. I'll set all this up, you lower it all the way down, that's supporting one side of the table, and then you can make up in the middle. You can make up with these cushions, but there is an actual Dinette to berth package which you can get for the infill cushions as well. Under these two seats here, these two are travel seats, and again I will set these up and show you. But basically all you need to do is remove all these cushions, and then there's a travel seat what goes at the back here facing backwards, and then there's one on this side what slides in facing forwards, and then you reuse these cushions to make up the travel seat. We have got USB points and Type C up there. These are touch, and then above we have got drop down bed. To control the drop down bed, it's just in this little cupboard here just below the sink. To control the drop down bed, it's here. You just need to put your safety key in, turn it on, press and hold the button with the control panel on, and then that bed will come down. So there's a few things you can do with this. So if you're doing a Dinette to berth, then the ladder will set the height of the bed, and then obviously underneath is that Dinette to berth, so it's like your bunk bed. So this is 4 berth 4 travel. And if you're not doing the Dinette to berth, if you want this bed all the way down, what you need to do is just remove the back cushions there, and then this bed will come practically all the way to the base cushions, so then you don't need to use the ladder to climb onto the bed. One little thing I'm going to show you in the cab area of this bed, it's got a little feature which has got a pull out tray here, and that extends this bed so you can sleep longitude, or obviously you can sleep traverse. If you sleep longitude, then obviously you don't need to climb over each other, but that's a nice little feature. But one thing to keep in mind, if this drop down bed, when you're trying to put it back up, won't move, the reason for it most of the time is because this is stuck out. This hits a contact point for it to then realise it's insecure and not going to hit the side. So make sure that this board is securely in, so then the bed will move up or down for you. Like so. One thing that we do highlight, so on your bed you can leave your duvet on there, but we do recommend to take your pillars off. The reason for that, when the pillar is on there, it's trying to squash up the pillar and hit the contact sensor to stop the bed, and sometimes that does blow the fuses just because of the friction. Other than that, you could leave your pillars on by just leaving the bed lower down, but then depending on your height you might bang your head quite a lot more. In here, this little device here goes through here. So behind this cover here there is your bed motor, so that's what makes the bed go up and down. This is just a manual override. Basically you insert it like an Allen key, and then you'll just wind the bed up or down. If you're trying to put the bed up manually, just get someone underneath, just give it some support, and that will help you to wind it up faster. The reason you may have to do that, the first one, you potentially blown a fuse, so you just need to check under the passenger seat. The second one, you could have run out of leisure battery, so if you're in the middle of nowhere, no power or anything, you could turn on the engine and the engine will trickle charge through the leisure battery, but it does take a while for the engine because you need to do some miles for the alternator to charge up the leisure battery. But if you turn on the engine, you could give yourself some power just to get the bed up and down. Another option, it could be the motor has actually failed. It's very rarely the motor, it's usually the fuse is blown before anything. In that little cupboard again, you're seeing some gas valves. They're in the open position, but basically what they are is if one of the appliances goes faulty, you can isolate that appliance and still use gas on the other appliances. So they are in the open position. We've got your sink here. So if we want to use our water system in the motorhome, what we need to do first thing we need to do is shut all the drain valves. So we need to go to the fresh water tank, shut the fresh water tank before we fill. Then the grey waste underneath, make sure the grey waste is shut. Then go to your garage locker, make sure the yellow valve is shut. And then you've got the black valve with the blue tabs on, that is your frost protect valve for the boiler. So you've got 4 valves you need to shut before filling up with water. Once you've done that, fill the fresh water tank completely full, and then you need to come to your control panel, turn on your control panel, turn on the water pump. When you turn on the water pump, all you need to do, come to the tap, open the tap on cold, and what that's going to do is pump water from the fresh water tank through the pipe work, and then once you get a steady flow, shut the tap. Then we're going to twist it to the hot side. Open it on the hot side. Again, that's going to take water from the fresh water tank through the pipe work, but this time it's going to go to the boiler. It's going to fill up the boiler, and your boiler holds around 10 to 12 litres of that fresh water. Once the boiler is full and you get a steady flow through the tap, shut the tap. That means your water system is completely primed, ready to use. Just keep in mind, the hot water you do need to boil on the Truma control panel. So on that little black control panel is your hot water and heating. So your water is not instant hot water. You do need to boil it. As you can see, we've got a 3-ring gas burner. One safety advice we do recommend is this glass cover. Keep the glass cover up after use just to let the stove cool down. You've got a little heat tray here if you're using the oven and grill, just to protect these knobs here. You've got an igniter. Again, this is on a 12-volt system, so I think it's on the same circuit as the USB socket, so if the fuse is blown, this won't work. But then this will work with obviously the 12-volt system on. You got these little lights around on this 12-volt rail. So these are little handy lights. You can move them around as well on the rail if needed. You got storage up here. Got some storage down here. I think one of these is cutlery tray, and then you got like a little pantry pull-out drawer there as well. Your fridge freezer is here, quite tall. If we want to use this, if we press and hold here, this fridge freezer will then turn on. So this is called a three-way fridge, and how this works, we've got automatic. So automatic is automatically select the best source it has available. The next one is mains hookup. This one is gas, and then the battery symbol is when the engine is running. It's taking a feed off the leisure battery, which is being topped up by the engine. On the right hand side we have your temperature. So if we want to change this mode, we've got the mode button on the right, touch here, and it will go through the controls. Select auto, because it will automatically select. As you can see, it's gone to mains hookup because I'm currently connected to mains hookup. But if I unplugged, it will go to gas because that's the next source it has available. If it goes on to gas and you still need it running, make sure you turn the gas cylinders on. Don't forget that. But if you are going to head off on your journey, obviously turn your gas tanks off leave it on auto, because as soon as you start the engine it will go onto the battery symbol. On the right hand side you can change the temperature, so max is colder, minimum is warmer. So I always leave it on auto because it will automatically select, but you can select the mode yourself as well. If you fault something you will get a warning triangle here, and usually it's just because the source is not available when it's auto moved over. So if it goes to gas and the gas is off, it will fault. Press and hold the power button and it will then shut down. You've got some storage up here. And then now we are going to go into your toilet shower cubicle area. So if you want to use your toilet, you've got a grey handle underneath here. Basically you just need to slide that handle and that opens the toilet cassette. Obviously after using the cassette, close the valve so no smells come back up. At the back here, the blue button is your flush, so that will use some fresh water with the pump on. And then this little symbol on the left here, that looks like a toilet cassette, that will light up orange/red when the toilet cassette is full, so you do need to empty it. This locker here is the locker where we can access externally. You have got a little bit more storage at the top as well, and I forgot to show you, but the awning winder is currently connected onto the garage door there as well. Here we have your travel seats. This is where they're stored at the moment, but this is the backrest for the travel seats. Like I said, we'll get to that when I set them up. Habitation carpets, and then in here we have your 240 volt mains breaker. So this is where you would come to. I can't lift it up because of the seats, but basically this is where you come to on the 240 volt side when you're plugged into mains hookup if something trips. And then we've got your Wi-Fi router just up here. As you can see, that data cable that was going towards that point near the entrance. On the doors, this is your handle to open it, but that is currently unlocked, so make sure you push this in to lock it. Otherwise when you are moving, these will just fly open. And then this one lower down, that is where your boiler is. You won't need to access anything in here because you've got the frost protect valve through your garage, but this is where the boiler is stored. To turn on the lights in the shower cubicle, we've got a rocker switch underneath here, and also we've got a 3-pin socket as well. Again, the 3-pin socket will only work on mains hookup. You've got a large shower cubicle. You've got a drying rack at the top, so any wet gear you can hang in here. This is heated as well, there is a heater vent lower down just there, so anything wet you can hang it in here and let it dry out. And then we have got a sliding door here, and you've currently got a travel strap, so this door doesn't slide around when travelling. All you need to do is just release it from this pin here, pull it, that releases the leather strap, and then you can slide the door around, so you've got privacy. Okay, so all we've got left to do, I'm going to show you how these travel seats set up, and then I'll show you how this table works as well to lower it down to get it into the Dinette to berth stage you've needed. I'll do that now first before I do the seats. And the way to do this, I'm going to try and show you how to do this. And basically all you need to do is lift the table up, push it down, and then that will slide and lock into place. If you want to convert this, slide that support out, put the legs down, and then fold out the table, and that will give you your Dinette to berth area, as you can see there. And then all you need to do is, after finishing, do it in reverse, put the support legs back up, slide that table back, and then on here just need to lift the table up all the way to the top, then push down, it will lock into place. So to put the table down, lift it up a little bit and then push down, it releases from the mechanism. And then in reverse, when you're putting it back to its highest position, lift it all the way to the top and push it down and it'll lock into place. All we're going to do now is remove these cushions, set up the travel seats so you can see that. So as you can see, I've now got the travel seats set up. So basically one seat here, and then you've got one seat here, and you have got a little fold out table just there. Under this seat here you have got some storage as well. Just internally you lift up the seat and there is some storage under there too. So that is the instructional / overview video of this brand new 26 model Burstner B66 594 TD. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call. Also, we do have more of these available, so please get in contact if you are looking to purchase one.